Run away from a conflict. Usually people say, oh, there is politics, and they run away from that. Or, oh, there is so much conflict, I don't want to be part of it. You put a barrier between you and the situation. I often give an example. It's like a doctor or a nurse saying, oh, there are sick people, I don't want to go there. My dear, your job is to go and see, how you can help their art. So never shy away from conflicts, number one. Never shy away from speaking the truth. And often we think being rude is speaking the truth. This is another thing. You don't need to be rude. People who are rude, who are aggressive, they think they are doing the right thing. I want to narrate or remind of one thing that happened in Colombia. When I was there for the 52-year-old conflict. So we were working with the refugees, internally displaced people there. 20 million people have been affected by this conflict for 52 years. So we have been working with them, and so the government of Colombia gave us their highest award. I went to receive it on behalf of all the volunteers and representatives. Then, usually on these big award ceremonies, you have a 5 minutes handshake with the president. That's what I too was invited to have, a 5 minutes handshake with the president, photo up basically. But it lasted for 50 minutes. The president said, it has become too much for us to handle. All peace talks have broken up, and they're not willing to budge at all. So I'm left with only military option. And he said, I'm very pained to take this action because 40,000 lives will be lost when I take bombers and go and really bomb those areas. So I told the president, Mr. President, why not make an effort? Let me go and talk to them. You see? Said, well, I don't see any hope, but any help is welcome. You are most welcome. So I took a flight and I went to Cuba, Havana, that's where they were all there. When I went first when I went there, they saw me in my dress, Usually you judge a person by the attire they have. Some of my judges said, oh, this is a spiritual person or religious person, and I have nothing to do with it. And so they refused to meet with me. Say, we only follow Karl Marx, and thus capital is our Bible. We don't want we are not going to talk to anybody else. So I said, well, I have come here. Then in the University of Havana that evening I gave a talk, and there were about 1,500 young people, students, and so they had sent some people to check me out. When you are not sure about what other person is, okay, let's go check him out. So somehow they liked my presentation, and we did a small meditation. Then they agreed to come to the hotel. They, on their own, they said, we would like to come and see you. So 14 of them came, all commanders-in-chief of FARC. And to make the story short, then for the next 3 days, I had dialogue with them. We sat and spoke. I told them, look, I understand you are not having fun in the jungle. You are also victim of injustice, social injustice. I understand your point of view. But I said, I don't approve your path of getting social justice by violence. If you eschew violence and then adopt the Gandhian principle of non-violence, adopt peace process, then, the world will support you. See, I'm all for social justice. I want nothing for myself. I want everybody to be happy. So, and then there are, everybody on the planet is for that, except maybe few autocrats or few dictators. Everybody else is for social justice. And so they agreed. On the third day, they came with me to the press conference, and they unilaterally announced ceasefire. And neither the government nor the media was ready to even believe this. I told the government and the media, just give them a benefit of doubt. Let us see. And in 1 month, the whole peace process started, it began, and in 8 months, everything settled. And they formed a political party. And they invited me to come and inaugurate. I said, no, I keep away from that. But, I send you my best wishes and blessings. So they've come in the mainstream. If you had visited Colombia, Bogota, the capital, before 2015, and you visit now, you find a sea of difference. The economy has gone better. The airports look much better. People move around, travel around without fear. This is one example. The same thing we have seen in India also. When you give them confidence, see, I understand your position. See, then you become the bridge. And you are not taking any sides. And I think this is very necessary in communications.